Alrighty, so these are the rod bearings out of my Z4M coupe. I did do the upgrade for the VAC Motorsports. They're coated bearings. But what I have in here are going to be the old rod bearings that were taken out of the actual car. I did have the technician, the mechanic, whatever you want to call it, leave them out for me so that way we can go ahead and look and to see really how bad the wear was, if it really was worth the overall investment in regarding to replacing it. So let's just go ahead and take a look. I don't know if these are necessarily in order per cylinder. I don't think he did. I think it was just kind of scrambled. But nonetheless, we can at least see the wear. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. All right. This one's not too bad. You know, there's nothing worse than when you do rod bearings. I've done rod bearings for prior cars, like my Laguna Seca. I had no records of, rod bearings being done, and it ended up being that somebody at one point in time before my ownership had replaced them, so they really weren't that bad. And the same thing for my first E92, immaculate. I mean, granted, the miles were, at the time, 40,000 miles, I want to say, but then I got so afraid. I heard somebody that had their rod bearings spin around that similar mileage, and I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to go through that, so I didn't want to take the risk. But let's see. Oh, here we go. Alrighty, so here you can see it now starting to go down to the copper. So just based off of this, it's already a good move that I did it. I don't know what the other version look like. If that's the worst one, I'm still content. Oh yeah, look at that. This one's not completely down to the copper just yet. You don't see like that copper color yet, but you can see it's starting to wear down, potentially down to the copper. Let's see the next one. Same deal, same deal. Definitely some wear, but if that's what all of them look like, nothing crazy. But the copper one was pretty bad. There we go again. Yeah, see? Look at that wear. Now, the reasoning why for people that don't know, this is an Achilles heel for the S54 motor that you find on the E46 M3, and then also in the Z4M, and then also the later models of the actual Z3M came with the S54. So these are maintenance, granted, but honestly, it's necessary, because if these actually completely break, you'll have metal into your motor, and then that's not good, and catastrophic engine failure. So that's why I end up doing it if I don't know the history. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I did it. You can see the wear. I'm trying to see if we have a worse one. Look at that. Copper right there. Keep looking. Oh yeah, look at that. Definitely had to be replaced. The car had about 127,000 miles on it. So kind of high mileage, but not incredibly high for those kind of engines. But look at that, look at that. Copper on that. Whoa. Yep, it was a good call. It was a good call. I think this is maybe the only actual engine that I had done rod bearings, and I can say I'm glad that I did it. Granted, I'm glad that I've done all of them, because it's the peace of mind. I mean, it's not like you want to go into your engine, you take the rod bearings, and they're catastrophic if you had driven one more mile. I don't know if I'm going to get pleasure out of that. Granted, I know my money's at work, but I'm not mad at this. I think this was a good call on my part. I'm glad that I did it, especially in later videos. I'm going to make another video into another actual Achilles heel of the car that I did not anticipate redoing at the same time that I did rod bearings. But I'm also glad that we caught it in time, nonetheless. But yeah, rod bearings. I mean, it is a must do if you feel like, oh, if you have a Z4M coupe and you're like, well, I don't need it because it's an 08 car. They have upgraded a lot of things on it. It's the last year of the S54. Wrong. It goes to show you, it goes to show you that just because of that may be the case, and I'm sure they are better, this is still going to happen to your 2008 S54. Last year of production, you're not safe. No one's safe. And might as well change it. I mean, it's not the cheapest job, but hey, it's a whole lot cheaper than replacing an entire engine from new. So, lesson learned. Definitely, if you haven't seen this, granted, change your rod bearings. And the prior owners that, from what I've been told, they weren't driving the car really hard. They're BMW enthusiasts. The first owner was even an actual technician from BMW. So these are people that generally know how to, wait for the car to warm up before driving it. So that goes to show you, even it doesn't matter how warm you wait and how long you wait to drive the car, you don't want to drive at higher RPMs, it's still going to happen. Might as well change it if you have the money to do so.